Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the first town hall of 2022, diving into the world of new media and technology and NFTs. I'm Lisa Gold, A4's Executive Director, and a quick accessibility check. I am a Hapa, half Korean, half white woman with long dark hair, wearing a black top and gold hoop earrings. Sitting in a door frame in a doorway, zooming in from the unceded lands of the Seminole and Timucua peoples in Florida. So thank you. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight to learn about the exciting work being created in this new digital frontier and through the exploration of new technologies. Just an FYI, we do plan to have a workshop later in the spring dedicated to NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and how you can participate, or maybe even why you might want to. So keep your eyes out for that. So for those of you who are familiar with A4, you know that we're dedicated to ensuring greater representation, equity, and opportunities for Asian American artists and cultural organizations through resource sharing, promotion, and community building. And Town Hall is one of our signature programs that helps us fulfill that mission. So I'm hoping that, how many of you have been to Town Hall before? You can raise your hands if you want, turn on your cameras. Great, nice to see some familiar faces there. Hi, great. So for those of you who are new, I'm gonna share some Zoom protocols and other announcements before we start. So please mute yourself if you aren't speaking, that's helpful. We are recording this event and we'll be posting it online for later viewing. It goes on our Facebook page and on our YouTube account. You can note that there's a raise hand function that's accessible by clicking on the participants icon at the bottom of the screen. So if you have a question, you can use that, or you can send us a message via the chat box, whatever. We also have closed captions available via Rev if you would like those. They are in English. So if you would like to enable the captions, you should see a CC button at the bottom of your Zoom screen menu that has the words live transcript below it. So just click on that icon to enable the captions. We would love it if you turn on your camera so we can see your faces. Not necessary, but it's always nice to be in community with people to know who we're with here. So here's how tonight's going to go. For you newbies and for you who may have forgotten, we'll have two featured presenters and then two groups of short pitches, which are about a minute in length. We have a small group tonight, so if you go over, I'm not going to mute you like I normally would, but you will hear a bell at 1 minute. So here, this is what it sounds like. Hopefully I can, you will hear this. So that will be your signal to stop talking. So after our first featured presenter, we'll call the names of the people giving their 1 minute pitches, and your names will all appear in order in the chat box. So be ready to go when your name is called, and then we'll repeat the process after the second featured presenter. And then after everybody who pre-registered has given their pitches, we'll ask if anybody would like to do a short 30-second micro pitch, and you can just raise your hand or type your name in the chat box, let us know you want to go, and we'll call on you in that order. We'll ask you to just write your name or your social media handle, website in the chat box so people can follow up with you about what you presented. And then afterwards, we're going to have a few breakout room conversations so people can follow up directly with artists or anyone, organizations who have presented tonight and introduce themselves or ask questions. And you also can switch breakout rooms if there's somebody specifically that you want to talk to. Just click on breakout rooms at the bottom. It's under more, ... and then you can see who's in each room, and you just move your cursor over the blue number room number next to your name, and you can just move to any breakout room by clicking on the number, or you can just message me or Priscilla or Anjor, and we'll move you if you want. And so now just a few more announcements. I want to thank Priscilla Sun, our programs manager, and introduce Anjor Karokar, who is our new communications and database manager. So Anjor is here with us tonight, and she's there she is waving. Hello, hello. So let's see, I already mentioned the cameras. And if you want to share, post anything, feel free to do so. Use the hashtag A4Townhall, and please tag us. And then also, we will have a post-event survey. We're always trying to improve and shape our programs to be more relevant to you. And we want to hear what you have to say, how we can improve this, what you want to hear, what should be our next town hall. So just it's super fast question, easy. You can either click on this link in the chat or point your phone at the QR code. I'm sorry, I think my internet is not great here, but doing what we can do. So a couple of upcoming events. On January 25th, next Tuesday, we're presenting a conversation with our 2021 Jading Wong Fellow Annie Heath and her collaborator, projection artist Shannon Brooks. And we're going to be screening a 15-minute excerpt of her new multidisciplinary work, Departure Study of Motherland Fabric, followed by a discussion between Annie and Shannon about that project. So it's free, please RSVP. And have a conversation with Annie. She's fantastic. She recently took part in an AAPI dance and choreography showcase that A4 presented with the 90 Chen Dance Company and Final Bow for Yellowface during the APAP conference. It's the Association of Performing Arts Presenters. It's an annual conference that takes place in New York. And so we created the showcase featuring 8 dancers and choreographers displaying a range of styles and just incredible artistry. So if you want to check that out, the recording is on Vimeo, and you can see some incredible dancer and choreographers. And also, if you want to check in with Annie and ask her questions, you can ask her about the Jading Wong Fellowship, because on Tuesday, February 1st, we're going to be opening the application process for that fellowship, as well as the Van Leer Fellowship for visual art. So both fellowships, the Jading Wong Fellowship and the Van Leer Fellowship, offer an unrestricted cash stipend of $6,000, career coaching, artistic mentorship, support for a project or a presentation of your choosing, and other support like the showcase that we just did at APAP featuring Annie and Rohan Bhargav, our 2020 Jading Wong Fellow, and other opportunities like membership and art or work conference and things like that. So it's really great. It's a great mentorship program. And then we'll also be revealing the design for the next Lunar New Year benefit shirt, celebrating the Year of the Tiger. And that was designed by artist Sangmin on. And the t-shirts and hoodies are going to be available for just a limited time on our site. So look out for that announcement. And finally, we're going to be launching a survey. So in addition to this super fast survey, we're going to have slightly longer survey. It's not that long. It takes between 5 and 10 minutes to fill out. But we're really trying to get a handle on who our constituents are and what people want. And if you fill it out, you'll be entered into a drawing to win $100 in cash. We have 10 prizes. And we really, really need your support filling that out, because we use that information in our grant applications. It's going to help us shape our programs and our strategic planning. And so, we don't store any of your data. Feel free to answer honestly. You can answer honestly, just the data back in aggregate. So don't be as brutal as you need to. But it really helps us. So we're going to ask you to be on the lookout for that. And then a final reminder to share your work with us and the whole community by posting it on the website. It's free, it's easy, it's really fast. And you can just, there you go, click on the community event login tab, and then you can post it on the calendar, or if you have an opportunity, you can post that in the opportunity section. And you can also sign up for our newsletter on the site, so you don't miss out on any of these amazing programs and events. So, As always, thank you to our supporters at Capital One and Con Edison and the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs in partnership with the New York City Council, the New York State Council on the Arts with the support of Governor Kathy Hochul, and the New York State Legislature, the National Endowment for the Arts, the Howard Gilman Foundation, Fiskars, the Tiger Foundation, and so many generous individuals for making Town Hall and all of our programs possible. And if you want to be among our list of supporters there, you can text A4 donate to 202-858-1233, or just click on the link in the chat. And that's that. We appreciate it. Just a brief digital land acknowledgement, because before we were doing this on Zoom, we would be meeting in the A4 offices, which are on the unceded lands of the Munsee and Munsee, Lenape, and Canarsie peoples. But since we're meeting virtually, I'm going to share a digital land acknowledgement, which was written by Canadian theater artist Adrienne Wong, since we're all occupying different physical spaces. Since our activities are shared digitally to the internet, let's also take a moment to consider the legacy of colonization embedded within the technologies, structures, and ways of thinking we use every day. We're using equipment and high-speed internet not available in many Indigenous communities. Even the technologies that are central to much of the art that we make leave significant carbon footprints, contributing to changing climates that disproportionately affect Indigenous peoples worldwide. So I invite you to join me in acknowledging all of this, as well as our shared responsibility to make good of this time, and for each of us to consider our roles in reconciliation, decolonization, and allyship. So now I would like to introduce our first featured presenter, media artist Sangmin Shay. Sangman is a creative technologist at Culture Hub, which is a global art and technology community founded by Soul Arts and La Mama. He has developed video design and video systems for productions such as Hi-Fi, Wi-Fi, Sci-Fi, and Panorama, which was part of the Public's Under the Radar Festival, which also starred A4 fam Perry Young. Sangmin is a graduate of Seoul Institute of the Arts, where he studied broadcasting and earned his MA Performance and Interactive Media Arts program at CUNY Brooklyn College. I give you Sangmin.
Hello, everyone. I can share my screen.
Great.
Great. Hello. Oh, sorry. Hello. I'm Sangmin Shay, a creative technologist at Culture Hub. Today, I introduce the Culture Hub, where I currently work, and discuss about the telematic technology and the remote work for the media artist. Let me briefly introduce the Culture Hub works. The 11th anniversary this year marked this Culture Hub. Culture Hub is a global art and technology community that was born out a decade of collaboration between La Mama and the Culture Hub in Seoul Institute of the Arts. The Seoul Institute of the Arts is Korea's first contemporary performing arts school. These two groups are trying to how the internet and digital technology could foster a more sustainable model for the international exchange and creativity. This is what we worked our past 11 years. We have a studio in New York and Los Angeles and Korea and Indonesia and Italy, and are developing new art form and the artist residency and the live production and educational program. In particular, over the past 11 years, Culture Hub and I made various the telepresence artwork. The last month, we did the project called Invisible Touch. Invisible Touch is a telematic live stream production that connects Korea and New York within a fantastical XR environment. Dancer in New York using the live motion capture technology and send motion data to the Korea. Invisible Touch is tells the story of the interconnectedness between life in the different worlds. I will show you some of the video here. So actor is the, give me a second. Yeah. Actor has the 4-dimension the LED screen. As you can see, this studios transition to the live key to the using the XR technology. The camera movement, the synchronize the LED screen, and then if your camera is moved, the synchronized LED screen is changing. And here is the if you can see the avatar here. This avatar is where the New York studio send motion data in Korea in the real time, and they're rendering the motion data in the Korea studio. Is that they create they make in the LED world, and this work had many technical difficulties because they send large amount to the real-time motion data across the Pacific Ocean to Korea. With the delay, because we need to reduce so many the delay, so finally we got the 0.3 or 0.4 second delay, and then their system has the 0.1 second the render in real time, because the dancer need to see each other, and they need to perform together. So as you can see that this all the motion in the avatar is live from the New York studio. So why I show you that this video, because like this performance, now many performance are contactless performance. Traditional telepresence performance are using just the video and audio. But now we need to think about the other data, such as the bio data or motion data or OSC, something we need to sending more another data. So the culture hub, we create the telepresence application, the name called the Live Lab. The Live Lab is the web browser based telepresence app. They're using the Google Web RTC the protocol. So what's good thing about the Live Lab? Because now many people are using the Zoom call or Zoom performance or something. But I can say the 3 keywords. The Live Lab can do the high quality video and audio, and then the performance for the best optimized for the performance, and then the low latency, because we are sending to really low latency. So this is a picture to the Live Lab. So I can say briefly, the Live Lab is specialized for the performance. This program can do the transmit the high quality and high quality the audio data. We previously used the Cisco system and the Polycom system. It's a hardware base, but its device is really expensive. It's almost $30,000, and the difficulty to use. It's really hard to make the system. So also during the pandemic period, we tried to using the Zoom system, but audio and video is really low quality for the performance. For the communication is totally fine, but the performance we need to the really good quality, the image and video and audio. So we create the web communication performance app. The Live Lab can using the full HD video and stereo high quality audio system, also less than 0.3 or 0.2 second delay. It's really fast. And then the experimental version can be sending to the 4K image in each other. So the traditional Zoom call, they're using the server-based communication system. So we are sending to the signal to the Zoom server, and the Zoom server create the multi-viewer and they're sending to us. If we need to pin someone, they sending to additional the feed. So technically they sending 2 feed. But the WebRTC technology, we are using the mesh network. So you and I is connected. If someone join, we are also the 3 person is join the same peer-to-peer connection. So it's really fast, and then we can sending to the high quality video. And this is a web-based application, so easy to using and then free. So just free. So you can type in your Google Chrome. Now it's only work for the Chrome. So go to Chrome and then type the HTTPS, the livelab.app and / and then if you hit you can see the Live Lab web browser application. So now we can sending to the video and audio the high quality, but this year we are updating the OSC function to the integrate in the live lab. Also, we are updating this year the broadcasting the function, especially the broadcasting function is with handle the under 100% can see the 0.4 second live stream video. So if you're performing here, under 100% can see the live, like just 0.4 second. What can we do? We can interacting with the audience, because the traditional YouTube streaming, we cannot reacting with the audience because we have the 14-second delay. But the live rap, the broadcasting function will be the can with the audience and the actors the interaction. So feel free to check the Culture Hub website, and then feel free to using the library for your creation. Now many art form is moving forward, such as using the NFT and the XR technology and telepresence art. And information technology is really fast growing up, and then reduce the people's the distance. We reduce so many things. Now it's all the people join the Zoom, and then we can talk and we can discuss many things. So we need to think, we try to think how time and space can reduce between each other for the performance, because now is we can use this fantastic this technology, and then we can create more, reduce the time and space between each other. So feel free to using the library. If you need any question or the library question or something, just send me the email. My email is, I will type in the chat, so feel free to send me the email for your question. Okay, great, thanks.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you, Sangmin. I don't even know like how we could use that. That sounds amazing though. Hopefully there are plenty of artists on this Zoom who'll know how to use it and put it to the test. So thank you so much for that. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our 1-minute pitches, and we'll drop your names in there. There they are on the screen. So Poyan, Jeffrey, Angelique, Lucy, Lily, Georges, and Jen. Poyan, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
You've got, let's make sure we have Poyan in there.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, yep, you go, you got a minute.
Okay, so hello
I'm
everyone. I'm Poyan. So my practice utilizes 3D computer graphics as my primary medium, and is informed by cinematic language and the psychoanalysis. So you are seeing this picture of my installation view of one of the 2 movie image work from this series, The Black Sun, a recital. You can go to the next one. This series traces the line between the inner and external worlds, autobiography and the fiction, the everyday life and the magical. While using 3D computer graphics to create this image, I take reference both from portrait and still life painting in the history of art and pop visual culture like Japanese anime. And you can go to the next one. So Japanese author Motojiro Kaiji literature inspired this body of work. In Kaiji's writing, there is a duality between the protagonist in the fiction and the author in real life. I created this series of work based on this framework of duality. You can go to the next one. The Black Sun series is aimed to process repressed emotions and to foreground mortality and alienation as a universal human experience. And this body of work is on view at the Bronx Museum for the Bronx Calling, the M Biennial, till the March 20th. So I hope everyone, if you have time when the COVID-19 is better, you can go up to take a look on this body of work. And you can go to next one. So I personally work on my own project, but also sometimes I work with friends for like collaborate with friends for their other projects. And this one is this 3D animation that I created recently is for my friend's opening short film. And if anyone would be interested in working with me, please also send me an email. Okay, thank you.
Great. Thank you, Bayan. Next is Jeffrey Luong. Jeffrey?
Hey everyone, my name is Jeff Luong. I am a music producer, songwriter, going by the name Grifter, and I released a lot of my music as NFTs in the last couple of months. So we have, right, what you see is called The Games We Played. It's a collection of music based off the video games that I played growing up. So Final Fantasy VII, Grand Theft Auto, just a bunch. And I've got another project out too called the Weird Ideas and Memories, which is if you own one of my Access NFTs, you get that as a monthly drop as stems or loops. But I really wanted to come here today to kind of just, if there's anybody that is apprehensive about releasing NFTs, especially in the music industry, because I think this technology is kind of it's actually giving us a lot more power as artists to financially be free from our art. So I would love to connect with anybody that is looking to do that. And you can follow me on Twitter too at I am Grifter, and hope to connect with you guys. Thank you.
Oops, sorry, I was muted. Thank you so much, Jeff. I bet a lot of people are going to want to chat with you afterwards in the breakout rooms. Next up, Angelique.
Hi, sorry, I can't see myself, but my name's Angelique.
I see you.
Cool. Thanks. Yeah, so I'm looking for collaborators on a site-specific projection piece. I'm specifically looking for other 3D animators. I'm also a programmer and a 3D animator. And I'm also looking for folks with experience in projection installation or sound mixing. So yeah, my Instagram's right there. And this project is it's a site-specific projection installation about queer heartbreak. It'll feature looping 3D animated scenes, narrations, and ambient sounds throughout the site. The collaborators don't need to be queer people of color, but these experiences are central to the project. So I will be prioritizing collaborators who are. And that's it.
Awesome. Great. Thanks, Angelique. Good to see you again in your new hair. Okay, next up is Lucy Yao. Lucy.
Hey there. Hi, I'm Lucy, and I am a pianist and composer, but that's not really why I'm here today. Today, I'm helping Wellington Chen and Chinatown Business Improvement District in organizing a concert for when it's finally nice outside. So we're looking for musicians who are able to play outside. So you could be like a solo set or like something that could fit like outside of a storefront. So no chamber orchestras, please. And we are offering a stipend, but really just looking to help amplify Chinatown and help businesses, open back up, especially at nighttime. So more like during the weekdays. The details for when it is still unclear. So I'm going to drop my email so you can get in touch with me, or you can feel free to directly message me here too. But yeah, just looking for music, send along an example of your work, and then I will from there curate a program. And of course, if you want to just be I do a lot of composing as well. Always happy to meet other artists. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Lucy. Yeah, that's so great. Yeah, thank you for dropping that in the chat. All right, next up is Lily Huang. Lily, you with us?
Hi, everyone.
Great.
Lily here. And yeah, it's a rather blank slide. I understand that. So I guess I will invite all of you to take this face of mine as the main graphic of this presentation, because the project that I bring forth to you all today is a VR AR project titled 476 Questions I Ask Myself Every Time I Walk Down Prince Street. And that exceedingly long title is really a reflection of a series of personal experiences of unfriendly encounters and assaults that many members in the AAPI community experienced last year and are continuing to experience this year. And the reason why I am choosing AR/VR to sort of be the medium of this idea of this project is that I want to somehow translate the feeling and kind of reinforce this idea of like, can I please invite you to literally see what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling? And obviously this has to be kind of like a unapologetically rooted mindset. And that's obviously very challenging because so many things, you know, it's hard to undone and unlearn. So I sincerely, you know, invite anyone here tonight who is willing to collaborate or talk more about that, whether it's technology wise or the content. So yeah, hit me up if you're interested. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Lily. I'm sure you'll also have people wanting to chat with you in the breakout room. Next up is Georges, our old friend Georges Bridges. Georges, I see you on your
Hi,
iPhone.
everyone. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Lisa. My name is Georges Bridges, and I'm the Community Outreach Liaison for the Asian American Film Lab. We promote ethnic and gender diversity in the film industry. Some of our biggest projects or programs, rather, are the 72-hour shootout and unfinished works. If you're an actor, producer, or you're in the arts and you'd be interested in participating in our organization, please contact us at film-lab.org. I posted my contact information in the chat as well. And thank you very much and have a great evening.
Fantastic, Georges. Okay, and then wrapping up this group is Zhen Shi. Zhen?
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much. It's an honor to share this space with everyone tonight. So I'm part of a research and simulation art collective called ZZYW. We produce software application installation, video game, and text as instruments to examine the cultural, political, and education imprints of computation. So our project Thinking Things started as an inquiry into the question that as software infrastructure becomes increasingly pervasive in effects and withdrawn in presence, what does it mean to rethink of social and political concepts such as competition, power, trust, and co-creation through computational mediated virtual worlds? In order to answer this question, we created essentially a simulation game, which is a computation system, as you can see here. It works, it's formulated as small group workshops. Each player or audience is able to, through this kind of vaguely computational poetry language, to define their own computational avatar and set it free in this kind of collaboratively inhabited collective virtual world. Thinking evokes a longer tradition in the computation of simulated AI agents. There's almost an exaggerated lack of realism, which is intentionally trying to like ask questions, foregrounds system as a rule-based society of interrelated agents. Next slide, please. Yeah, so technically we made a, the foreground is a video, is realized using a video game engine called Unity, and the background is a, utilizes an open source code repository called GitHub, where each player is able to compose and aggregate their individual rules. Next slide, please. So the current format is we have been hosting computational art workshop, collaborating with museums, education spaces, and galleries around the world. Yeah, next. So these are some of the places that we have collaborated with the world computational world making exercise in the past. We're in the process of developing the next phase of the project, which is gonna introduce a simulation video game online server, player database, and a more intuitive user interface, which allows for more continuity and more friendly and accessibility to players around the world. We're seeking funding, mentorship, media coverage, and just all kinds of support and interest to collaborate on this project. And thanks again for having me.
Fantastic, thank you. Jen, that's so interesting. Yeah, I think maybe our next speaker will have some advice for you, but just real quick before I introduce Perlin, we are dropping a relatively new town hall feature. So for those of you who want to stay connected with each other, we have a shared connection sheet. So you can enter your name and contact information. We'll drop the link in the chat. So Kate Riggs started this idea for us at a previous town hall. So it was like, oh yeah, now I have somebody, I have a friend who wants to perform in Chinatown, or I know somebody who can promote that thing. So you'll have this kind of Google connection sheet. There we go. Thank you, Anjor. So you can stay in touch and share your event, build community, reconnect. So there you go. Okay. Next up, our next featured presenter is Perlin Lee. She's an artist and designer from Hong Kong. Perlin's cross-disciplinary practice exists across installation, performance, and code-based media. Perlin is the founder of Non-Studio, an art and design practice that investigates mythologies through transmedia, and her work has been recognized by Dezeen, Vogue Italia, and the Society for Experiential Graphic Design, among others. Pearl is an alumna of New Ink's Art and Code track in partnership with Rhizome. I give you Perlin Lee. Take it away.
Hello, everyone, and hello, friends in chat. I'm so happy to and feel fuzzy and warm to be amongst you all. You guys did such an amazing job with the pitches, and I can't wait to hear more pitches. And thank you for that very kind intro, Lisa. As you know, I'm Perlin, and I'm an artist and designer. And if we'll move on to the next slide. A lot of my work re-examines identity through archetype and transmedia. And transmedia really just means anywhere from 2D, 3D to 4D. I'm a big believer of the medium serving the message and the narrative. And I want to talk today about Real Girlfriend. Real Girlfriend is a series created in AR and essentially models after my likeness, but I'm wearing various different characters that are an amalgam of various female archetypes in the virtual space. So we know of the female archetypes IRL. Cindy Sherman did an incredible job highlighting, French Nouveau, the Hollywood glam, the pregnant woman. But if we think about the corners of the internet, maybe we have a hard time listing, prominent female archetypes. And so this is what Real Girlfriend does, is to bring to light those untold narratives. Next slide. Blade Runner 2049 is a great example of something that inspired Real Girlfriend. Ana de Armas's character, she is, as we know, a pocket projector girlfriend to Ryan Gosling's character in the movie. And she's someone who's very transient, at the ready. Allison saying iconic, I agree. And one of the few portrayals of what a virtual female archetype is. Next slide. And VR Kanojo, a game probably a little problematic, where you have a Japanese girlfriend kind of at the ready, and the issue with this is that it's got at least almost 6 million views on YouTube, and the top comments don't have any kind of discernment about the fact that this could be wrong. And so I was very shocked to find this, and I wanted to do something about it. And so Real Girlfriend came about by me, next slide, putting on a wig, and multiple wigs at that, which calls for an itchy scalp. But in any case, I wanted to paint various pictures of what the female experience is online, and that's by creating characters and wearing them. Next slide, you'll see a bunch of faces modeled after my likeness, which is not creepy at all. And I wear these faces essentially underneath to create these characters. And the one being, there's one on the next page. This was an early experiment of me not putting on, this is my actual hair, as you can kind of tell. But it was the first time where I embodied a virtual archetype, and I felt like on the next slide, I felt like it was an interesting way to paint a picture of what the female experience would be like if it didn't have to go through kind of all the pain and trauma and microaggressions kind of online, and what that kind of empowerment might look like. So Hozu, this particular piece is actually a part of a zodiac collection. And so this character is actually modeled after one of the animals of the Chinese zodiac. And so her tag is Fiery Pig, and she's an ex-comedian turned video game role-playing streamer who saved multiple decentralized galleries from bursting into pixel-filled flames. And she's known as Lou, first name Lou, last name Tennant on her server. And she is the miscongeniality of her fire service on her server, but she's got a bit of kind of a dictatorial attitude and remains a terror to her subordinates. So next one is another example of a girlfriend in the series. Gengzi is a metal rat, and she's a virtual psychic. This character is actually modeled after Miss Cleo. I don't know if y'all remember Miss Cleo, but she was a huge scam that, would, basically say that she could read your future. And obviously, no one can read our futures. And with this character, she's got a cult following, but there's a section of her stream called a dinner special where it's a block reserved for sponsored content, and all of the sponsored content are subsidiaries of Silver Futures, which is her name. So she's a bit of a shady sidekick, if you will. And so next you'll find, actually, so I want to raise a very important question of why are these NFTs? And that's a very important question because not everything that we make lends itself to the medium. But in the case of Real Girlfriend, it did, because I thought about the idea of fractionalized shares in NFTs and mapping that to my recalling of the end of the movie Her, where the AI Samantha says to Theo that she's actually been in love with thousands of other people at the same time. And the idea of having shared ownership in one of these real girlfriends was interesting to me as something to experiment with. The fact that NFTs change hands quite often was also interesting. And so that was my kind of connection to it. But I do urge, people getting into the space to really question, yes, the message and the medium, how those two come together. And in this case, it was honestly perfect timing. I wasn't thinking that Real Girlfriend would be an NFT in the beginning, but I was asked by Foundation and Lindsay Howard of Foundation to become part of their first 25 artists to launch the 2.0 version of the platform. And so I thought maybe this would be a nice experiment, and it's worked out pretty well. And onward to the next part of this is how something that is virtual and an NFT can come back to real life. I think it's really interesting to kind of flex between the digital medium and the kind of native format of that, and how that moves into a physical space. And as most of you know, early on in the NFT conversation, which was not too long ago, is it going to overshadow the work of people exhibiting in galleries? It was kind of like an art world versus NFT conversation, which I think now has really found a beautiful marriage, and I don't think there's that dichotomy anymore. But I think it's important to know that digital artists, right, have been around for a very long time, and NFTs are a way for that work to transact, and essentially we're experiencing a digital renaissance of sorts. So I don't think, we can really value one format over than other. I really think they can be contemporaries and colleagues and work alongside each other. So this is a show that did that next to this Richard Prince piece. And I want to say also, this show curated by Ludovica Capobianco, she was really one of the first people at this time that really saw that same vision of, okay, just because it's an NFT, it can exist in a gallery space. I really appreciate her for that, and I really hope you find those people in the world that believe in your work in that same way. Next slide. And then flexing back into the virtual space. So we actually did an exhibition on New Art City. It's supported by Rhizome and supported by New Ink, where it was a group show for a cohort, and essentially Real Girlfriend showed up back in there and was really questioning the kind of the kind of virtual landscape, and it was the first time that all these women, all these real girlfriends actually showed up together in one space, which I thought was an interesting kind of commencement of sorts, or congregation of sorts. Let's keep going. Squad. Let's go to Reverb. I'm gonna do a hard right, hard left into Reverb. Away from the NFT world, this is something that is a really meaningful project for me. It's a performance piece IRL. And Reverb is a genetic opera that revisits the maternal lineage within all of us. That means essentially what I do. Kind of a quick story is that my grandma is 107 years old this year. But last year I found out that we weren't directly related. So I was a little heartbroken, and I really wanted to understand my maternal lineage a little bit better. So I actually submitted my DNA to a lab, and from there they extracted the site called HRV1. And HRV1 is specific to your maternal lineage. We all have it. And essentially I composed that strand of DNA back into music, into an opera that a live performer, an opera singer, would sing back to me. And of course, this is not just for me, right? Anyone's DNA, should they participate in this, can be a part of it. But it was interesting to be able to hear the song of my mother and all the women before her. This was actually an experiment, a photo from an anechoic chamber, one of the quietest rooms in the world. At one point in history, had a Guinness World Record. And when you step into an anechoic chamber, it's extremely quiet. Like I said, it's echoless, so you can actually hear your own blood rushing through your head, which is really reminiscent of how you might experience the womb. And the reason, people ask, why is this an opera? And I'd say that the first way that we communicate with our mothers is that they're singing to us while we were in her womb, right? And song to me was a beautiful way to kind of connect ancestry here. Onwards into now, after the experiments, we're kind of looking at how can we really bring this performance to life, to open it up to the public for other people to be able to sit in the chair and listen to their genetic opera. And so that'll be my mission next, as this this piece of mine that really means a lot, to find a home, and to be able to hear other people's stories of what do they feel when they hear the song of their mother. And with that said, I believe I will leave you with a sample of the opera that was live performed by the opera singer Amara Goldberg-Liu for a previous recording. So enjoy.
That was amazing. Wow, so many questions, Perlin. That was incredible. And also, that was like Jiwan Choi costumes, I think. That was beautiful. Just awesome, awesome. All right, well, next up, yeah, I can't wait to hope you can stay for the our virtual potluck so people can ask you questions about that incredible piece in the breakout room. All right, so on deck we have Vikesh, Rosalie Yu, Shenglong Li, Chika, Ching Chen, and Rupa, oh, and Carrie. Yes, so if you all can get ready, and Vikesh, are you here with us? I think you joined, so
I am.
you
Hi.
have, awesome, you have 1 minute, so I will
Okay.
start the timer when you are ready to go. You want to
Okay.
turn on your camera?
My camera's on, is it not?
Oh, yep, now it is. Gotcha.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Vikesh Kapoor. I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I wanted to share one of my first ventures into moving image and projection for this project, Modern Country Doctor, which was commissioned by Leica Camera. And it, yeah, I have an artist statement I had. Is that something you're reading for me, or was I?
No, you can read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't have it on me. Basically,
Okay.
my mother was an OBGYN in rural Pennsylvania, town that was about 94% white. And throughout her career, she delivered 3,000 children. And the town only has 10,000 people. So in an obtuse way, she's responsible for a third of the town. So I went back to Pennsylvania and photographed her and started photographing some of the kids along with their childhood photos and using her saris as the background. I photographed the mothers as well, and they wrote letters about their experience with my mother. And yeah, it's kind of a project that wants to show some of the more nuance between small town America, which has become really polarized in current political times.
Are you done, Vikesh, or you
Is
want to
that my?
wrap up real
Oh,
quick?
I heard an alarm. I heard an alarm.
Yeah,
so
that's it. That's your 1
sorry.
minute. So, but
Okay.
if you want to wrap up real quickly, feel free to.
Yeah, so that first video I showed was my first venture into it, and I was, I just wanted to share it with people, and I'm really curious about new media and NFTs and stuff. So thank you.
Awesome, thank you. All right, next up is Rosalie Yu. Rosalie, are you ready?
Yes. Hi.
Okay.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Hi. Hello, I'm Rosalie. My ongoing work studies coin-operated kitty rights. They're invented in the US in the 30s. They arrived like Trojan horses in Taiwan in the form of Mickey Mouse and Pikachu characters. My childhood home in Taiwan was double as a kitty ride repair shop because my grandfather was their caregiver. Over the years, he applied layers of amateur makeup onto the rides. They morph from cute to absurd. They look cursed. Cursed is an aesthetic that's creepy and is hard to pinpoint. For me, they capture the essence of post-colonial nation identity like Taiwan, unstable and obscure. The final work would be a kitty riot horror story and juxtaposed with a documentary. Here is a preview.
Can you mute yourself if you are not speaking? Thank you. I'm sorry, please continue, Rosalie.
Thank you so much. I'm looking for fundings or venues that to support this project. Any feedback, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosalie. Whoops. Okay, whoops. Next up, Shenglong, are you with us? There you are.
So I'm going to share, this is Shanglong. I'm going to share my newest ongoing project. So that would be called the Immigration Project. and I'm going to talk about the background. So for me, if I have two options to immigrate, one is Mars, one is Metaverse, I choose wearing my oculars, lying on the sofa, doing nothing in particular after works every day. So my project, Shanglong, prefers to believe that the virtual reality is reality. So, and he actually is my, I copy myself as a 3D model self-awareness in Metaverse. And he loves traveling through different virtual land where he missed and never been before in the reality. And each Shanglong have their own character and hobby. And I started to uploading Shanglong service to the OpenSea NFT market. So if you guys interested in Shanglong or want to do some collaboration, welcome to check it out. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. All right. Next up is Chica.
Hello, everybody.
Chica.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
can hear
Okay.
you.
I'm talking from Japan, so like I was just not.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. All right. So yeah, next slide, please. So I've been making a large installations, light installations, interactive LED light installations. So I am using projection mapping technologies, map the LED light by the video to control. So next one. This one was, the one one before was a Dumbo Festival. And this one is Arcadia Earth. It's still on in Broadway in New York. Next. Next one is Happen in LA. It's called World of Light. Next one. This is also hanging on the ceiling. You can see it's the same structure. This is showing at the Exportorium in San Francisco, welcoming people in the entrance. Next one is another one. This is interactive installation working with scientists. Based on a scientist data, the color changes. The changing color tells the teach people. Oh, already?
Yeah, but it's okay. You keep going, finish up. It's okay.
Okay, so this is the interactions teaches people what color of the temperature of the color identify the habitable planet or not. And the next one, so 2020 changed everything. I can make a large installation. So I doing the residency at the NAS Governor's Island. Next, I picked the 5 locations and they make a virtual realities. Next, AI visual installations. So next one. So reading my QR code, you will this AR installation will appears in front of you. So instead of like people coming to installations, my installation, I create something to deliver to the my audience. So next one. So this is a test at the Governor's Island. People reading QR code and experience in my virtual reality AR visual installation in front of them. Next. So next stage of the installation is in the New York City. I showed this to this last spring at the next one. Now here, gallery. Next one, please. So my next challenge is how do I combine this 5 locations to the A physical locations? So I place the 5 QR code on the floor. People visit this gallery can experience my AR virtual reality visual installations. But also next one, next one, please. So this is how they experience, it appears in front of them. Next one. So now I created an iPhone app, smartphone application. So they tell you where to go and experience. Next one. So when they go these locations, 9/11 Memorial, this virtual AR sculpture will appear in front of you. Next one. Chinatown, different AR will appear. Next one. Next one, please. This is appears 5 different locations. So my challenge now is those all 5 locations to reconnect the A specific area, like a gallery space. And then that it will be my next challenge. How can I connect the virtual reality, like an AR sculpture, to the physical connections, and then how people connect together? So that would be my challenge. If anybody has a good idea, please let me know. Thank you. Oh, this is, yeah. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much.
Sorry, I went too long, yeah.
That's okay, that's okay. All right, next up is Chen.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, where's my slides? Okay,
they're up.
Quickly, I'm doing a project called Seeds Cross from Ocean. Since I only have 1 minute, so you can go to my website, look all the background information. Next slide. Oh, the slides, the painting I did is the messenger is across from ocean from east to west. This is when I was a teenager. I was in the countryside. There's a cultural revolution. There's 10 years now school, so that's where I start my art. This is the art I did, and it rescued by my family. So when I know they are rescue my art before the old house abolished, I was happy with tear off, because this is really, I want to tell my story along with other story of all the immigration from as an immigrant, how you survive, how you rise up from the challenge. Next. So when I was in the US, I met a lot of artists, because I start my art in a very difficult time that helped me to be positive. So I met artists from Singapore, this Asian artist from Singapore, from Taiwan, from China, from even Japan. So this just a few examples, my mentor, my art influence. Next. So I just recently did some art in Art Residency Center with my story, Seeds from Ocean. You can see my art still carry on the Chinese culture, Chinese art character. Next. Yeah, this is another art about, I'm a scientist. I study a lot of plants, all those stuff. You can look at from my website. I used electron microscope, all the high tech, to study all the science problem question. And now I'm bringing the connected science with art. So this is just an example. Next. So I think art had an important role to outreach, not only for our Asian community, reach out to everybody in the world. So this is all the art outreach I did, use my art for include the show in Taiwan and in the office and in my working environment. So next. Okay, my question is, how we would connect with all the art and into the digital media, into the new media. So that's a new challenge. I'm welcome idea collaboration for this project. I'm also applied the funding for book art for others that want to make a book, not only for story about me and about all the immigrants, the story how they survive, taking challenge to be productive in this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chinjing. Next up is Rupa. Rupa, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rupa Vasudevan. I'm a media artist and researcher, and I'm here to present a body of work called Big Tech Says Sorry. It's a suite of projects currently consisting of a web browser plugin, an ambient audio piece ideally meant to be experienced via smart home devices like Google Home or Amazon Echo, a series of posters meant for public encounters, some of which you see here, and an interactive website. Drawing from my personal email archives, as well as from newly written text, the project explores the ways in which big tech companies exploit and misuse affective cues surrounding the act of apologizing in order to maintain the status quo. Each element of the project incorporates fictional apologies from large tech companies for wrongdoing, written in personal, sincere language that reflects true accountability. By placing these apologies within the audiovisual design that we have come to associate with these companies by default, and by making the apologies interrupt and intrude on everyday life, as you can see here with the extension, I apologize, it's a little small. The project asks us to consider what it would take for us to truly accept an apology from one of these monolithic institutions. The browser plugin and the website will be available to the public. It'll be launched within the next month. And please get in touch with me if you'd like to be notified when the project goes live so that you can experience it online yourself. Thank you so much.
Wow, amazing. Sounds fantastic. Can't wait to see that. Okay, last but not least, Carrie. Carrie, are you with us?
Yes. Hi.
Okay, go right ahead.
Hi, I'm Carrie. First time here. Nice to see some familiar faces and also meet talented new friends. Next slide, please. So the work I'm sharing today is called Lost and Found. It's a performance piece in both Mandarin and English. So the way it works is that I first share my thoughts about my experience with the two languages in Mandarin, kind of like a stream of consciousness. And the computer translates it into English with a synthetic voice, and then the printer prints out the English version. I will then read the English version back to the computer for it to turn it into Chinese again. And after layers and layers of technological mediation, the original content becomes more and more unrecognizable. So some meanings are lost and some new ones are found. Next slide, please. So this is a work in progress performance I did this Monday at Ace Hotel, Brooklyn. Next slide, please. And this is one small section of the comparison between the first round English translation and the second round Chinese translation. So yeah, and I'm currently just looking for any feedback or suggestions to push this project further. So please get in touch if you have thoughts or just want to do some casual work share or make new friends. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. Fantastic, everyone. Let's see, so can we go back to our regular square? Those were so interesting, all those pitches. So if anybody was so moved and would like to have 30 seconds to share their own project, or just raise your hand, or you can hit the reaction button and raise hands. Anybody? Last chance. Okay, no takers. This never happens. Somebody, oh, okay, Kathleen. All right, great. You wanna turn on your camera? You don't, okay, you have 30 seconds to share your project.
Hi, everyone. My name's Kathleen. I am the co-founder of Lionshare. We're a community that uplifts the best of emerging Asian creatives and content. We have a podcast that is on Spotify that highlights emerging Asian artists. And this year, we're really focusing on creating a DAO that will help support emerging Asian creators and content, just along the lines of everything that we've been doing, but now kind of exploring the Web3 space. I've done a bit in the space myself independently, also helped launch a NFT project at Art Basel this year in Miami for an Asian artist called CC is Streaming. So yeah, I'm just definitely looking to connect with other emerging, Asian creatives that are interested in existing in the Web3 space, that have any interest in creating their own NFTs, and definitely just want to, I feel like everyone here is definitely in this category. So You can follow us. We'll drop our Instagram. We also have a Discord going. The DAO isn't fully finished yet, but for now we have a really thriving Discord community. Actually, I think a few of our Discord members are in the chat right now, that because we posted this event just a few days ago. So would love to connect with everyone there and hear more about everyone's ideas. We definitely have some really amazing people already in the community that I think would, be excited to meet everyone here as well.
Great, thank you, Kathleen. Stick around for the virtual chat, potluck, breakout rooms, and I'm sure people will want to connect with you. Next up is Jessica Chen. Jess.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much, Lisa. My name is Jessica Chen, and I am choreographer and artistic director of Chen Project, which is a nonprofit contemporary dance company based here in New York City. Lots of things that will happen this year that I just wanted to put on people's radar. One of the things that I'm working on right now is I'm building a new contemporary dance technique based off of Chinese classical dance. So I'm in a gestation period. And in the spring, we are gonna do some sort of workshop for the public. So if you know of dancers that are interested, I'll drop my contact in the chat box and everything. And if they're interested in a new technique that can add to their work, then that's one. Another one is we are relaunching our Mentee Program, which is a program that is for aspiring professional dancers, that gives them tools and resources and contacts this year, and that'll be in June this year, and we are about to launch our application process. And then thirdly is for emerging to mid-career choreographers who are interested in sharing their work. Last year, I created a AAPI dance festival called We Belong Here, and it was hosted at Arts on Site down in East Village. And Arts on Site is a great organization, super supportive, and has, I think, produced 300 shows in 2020 or something crazy like that. And they have taken it on, and they have committed to supporting marginalized artists for the next 5 years, or beyond. But we'll be putting applications out for that. That festival will be in August. So if you know of dancers, choreographers, dance lovers, audiences, hook up with me. love to chat. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. That was so great. Really appreciated everybody learning so much, so different. This is different from our usual town hall. So those are great. I hope that you, before we go, there was one thing I just wanted to make sure. I mean, this is like, many of you probably have heard of the Creative Capital announcement about the Hewlett 50 Arts Commission. So Hewlett 50C for media art is awarding 10 $150,000 commissions to support new works by media artists in partnership with San Francisco Bay Area nonprofits. So those are the kinds of opportunities that we post on our website, opportunities section. So if you haven't checked that out, you should check it out. I can drop it in the chat, the link, but I'm assuming many of you already know about it. But for those of you who don't, I will drop that in the chat. So next we are going to, like I said, move into our breakout sessions, and we can chat for about 10-15 minutes. So we'll end at 8. And if you want to move to a different group, feel free to move yourself around. You don't have to stay in the same place every time. And just like, yeah, introduce yourself, share a few words about how or what you're doing, comment on what you saw. And please remember to fill out the survey in the chat box. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you in your breakout rooms. So please connect with each other. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you had a good time chatting and got to ask some good questions. So again, thank you all for participating. I forgot to take a photo because I forget. So I'll try to take one now with like half of our things. So everybody just say cheese. If you could turn on your camera, that'd be great. And we'll take a photo. Thank you. Okay. Appreciate that. Thank you again. Thank you, Sangmin and Perlin and all of our presenters. It was so interesting tonight, and we look forward to hearing from you. We will be editing this and putting it up on our website in a couple of days. So feel free to follow up with each other, with us for any questions. And thank you again for joining us. Happy New Year. Get ready for the Year of the Tiger. Hope to see you all very soon. All right. Take care. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you.